right, I'm going to do one more video here, and that should take us through the end of next week with videos, and I'll get these on YouTube hopefully tonight. So this is 7.1. We've actually already done this before, but we're going to get into solving some more difficult equations in the next couple of sections. But 7.1 is a review, so the key is again to show your steps. So here we go. Remember, the idea behind solving an equation is you want to isolate the variable, get it alone. So you want to undo what's being done. So in this case, because the x has 9 being subtracted, we're going to do the opposite of subtracting 9. We're going to add 9 to both sides of my equal sign. Remember doing this? So when I do that, these 9's will cancel because negative 9 plus 9 is 0. And I'm going to end up with x is equal to, and then 14 plus 9 is 23. And let me just quickly remind you, you can always check an equation by plugging your x back into your original problem. So if I wanted to do that, I would have 23, I'm plugging it back into my original equation, minus 9 is equal to 14. And what is 23 minus 9? Well, that's 14, so it checks. Here, I want to get the x alone. Right now, it has 10 being added, so I'm going to subtract 10 from both sides of the equal sign. So I'm left with x, and then 10 minus 10, those cancel out, and 8 minus 10 is negative 2. So there's my answer for that one. I'm not going to check that one. And again, you can pause at any time. This one, what's happening to the x? Well, it's being divided by 4, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to multiply both sides of the equal sign by 4. Now what happens on the left here? Well, this is really over a 1, and my 4's cancel. So I'm left with x is equal to, and 4 times 5 is 20. For D, what do we have to undo? Well, right now the x is being multiplied by 3. So we're going to divide both sides of my equal sign by 3. Those will cancel. And 15 divided by 3 is 5. Okay, so now we have to deal with some fractions here, but we just did a whole chapter on fractions. So again, right here, what's happening? Well, the 4 is being multiplied, or the x is being multiplied by 4, so I want to divide both sides by 4. So over here, I have a complex fraction, so remember that really means division. So I'm going to do 1/3 divided by 4 over 1. How do I divide fractions? I flip the second one. Whoops, that should be a 3. I'm sorry. I flip the second one, find its reciprocal, so that's going to be 1/4. And if I multiply straight across, I'm going to get 1 over 12. For F, same type of thing, except here I'm dividing both sides by negative 3. So these negative 3's will cancel. X is equal to, this is a division problem, so it's 1/5 divided by negative 3 over 1, which is 1/5 times negative 1 over 3. Now here we have a negative times a positive, so my answer is going to be negative, and multiplying straight across, I get negative 1 over 15. So hopefully these won't be so difficult here. All right, let's look at this one. What's happening here to the y? It's being multiplied by negative 6/5. So we are going to divide both sides of my equal sign by negative 6/5. These will cancel. Y is equal to, again, it's a division problem, So I'm going to do negative 3/5 divided by negative 6/5. Flip the fraction after the division sign, negative 3/5 times negative 5/6. So I know a negative times a negative is positive. 5s will cancel, but I'm not done. The 3 will cancel into the 6. So 3 divides into 3 1, and 3 divides into 6 twice. So again, my answer is positive, and multiplying straight across, I'm going to get 1 over 2, or 1/2. And finally, over here, for this one, I want you to remember that really this means that there's a negative 1 in front of that A. So let's write it that way. So what's happening here? Well, my A is being multiplied by negative 1, so I'm going to take and I'm going to divide both sides of my equal sign by negative 1. These will cancel. A is equal to, and a negative divided by negative is positive. 5 divided by 1 is 5. And there you go. There's the notes for 7.1.